Hello, welcome to this podcast between father and daughter. It's a little special exercise that we've come up with. My name is George Danikian.
And I'm Lauren Danikian.
And the podcast is very tentatively titled. In fact, no, I'll take that back. It's suitably titled TV.
Yeah, it's not tentative at all.
No, it's actually driven
TV
us together.
It's all we've got.
It is. It is. This is where you get to sing and play and get our podcast out there with its own little teaser.
Jingle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes, the teaser that I created. Yes. Yeah, that's up.
You know, it's been magical listening to you coming up with all these little clever little jingles, play-ons, playoffs. Di and I have been sitting there thinking, what can she come up with this week? And let me just tell you, we've not only been super excited, but we are in awe of your talents. Where have you been hiding all this stuff?
In my room.
Yeah, clearly, because you haven't shown anybody else before. Wow, this is good stuff, and we're gonna showcase just what you've been up to over the last couple of days when you showcase this wonderful new promo, which you thought Dad's asked me to do it. I don't know why we need it. What did I tell you?
Well, you said that because it's something new and it's something different, you know, it's worth promoting. It's worth getting the word out there.
Correct.
And I agree 110%. I doubted my abilities to, you know, create something. So with the help of iMovie, I did a little something.
Yeah,
so visit our Instagram account. It's TV. It's all we've got. And you can check it out for yourself.
And not only that, you haven't stopped there. You've mounted this podcast and made it available on Spotify, on Apple. Where else can we be seen?
I feel like I have to open up the website and double check, but pretty much anywhere that you can download a podcast now, you'll find us.
Should we explain how this all came about?
Yeah. I think for anybody that's joining us that's new, it's an exciting opportunity to get to know us. So we are father and daughter, and we have not had a lot in common growing up. Dad's always been a real sportsman, and I've always been, you know, singing and dancing.
Or I've been at work and not available.
Or you've been at work. You know, he's been an anchor man.
And it's taken me around Australia, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, around the world, really.
That's
when you think about it.
Yeah, when you reflect like that, yes.
Yeah. So we've obviously had a lot of great experiences together, but we haven't really bonded on a level that I guess COVID has kind of allowed us to do. So with all the time that we've both been given, we've started to renew this relationship and
deepen it on a bundle of levels.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We're very open with each other. We talk about things that are bothering us, things that we're excited about, things that we're sad about. And it's just been a really exciting journey. So this is just a little bit of a fun thing for us to do.
It is, but it's also about digging a little deeper into what drives us and occasionally what ticks us off. And I thought when you came up with the idea, it was something worthwhile investing in. And then it dawned on me that the more we did it, the more I was enjoying it. And I kept thinking to myself, why have I taken so long to do this with my daughter? And the truth of the matter is, we live in Australia, and the tyranny of distance is something that has challenged this country for the better part of the last 200 years. And we find so many ways to keep ourselves apart. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I mean, well, you moved to Adelaide when I was 5.
Yeah.
So I spent quite a few years. I think you were there for 10 years in total.
Just about.
So 4 times a year, I was in Adelaide.
I was meant to be there for a year.
The best of it.
I was meant to be there for just a year.
And then well, look what happened.
And look what happened. That's right. You see what happens when a contract, you're meant to stay, and someone says in your contract terms, read the fine print. Yeah. Well, I hadn't read the fine print, had I? So I had to stay a little bit longer than I imagined. But it was a tremendous opportunity to learn, to meet some wonderful people. And we still keep those people close to ourselves, because they're such wonderful friends that have become over the years. Now, you've watched much of my career on television. From
I've even been in the studio sometimes.
Yes, you have, and in the green room and just about everywhere else. And it's been an interesting journey. Now we're doing it in a virtual studio in this newfangled way that's been introduced, compliments of COVID.
Yeah, thank God for Zoom. Otherwise, this would not be possible.
No.
We'd have to find some other way to do it.
And also the arrival of social media, which allows you to use so many different tools to showcase so many different stories or narratives. And the one that we've chosen to tell is the one about our discovery, our journey of discovery. Daughter and father finding out it wasn't Freudian. It wasn't Freudian before you jump in.
A son, I think, would have been a totally different story.
It would have been, exactly. You would have had a moustache to rival Dad's.
Oh, I still have that. It's just I know how to get rid of it.
This stand-up comedy routine that you're journeying on is worrying me, because you're going to give away so many of our secrets.
Well, I either talk about you in front of you or I talk about you behind you. What would you prefer?
Always in front. Always in front. Always in front. Yeah, there you go. So do your darndest.
Yeah, well, as I was saying earlier, this is our opportunity to bond, but also in the process, what we've figured out is that the main thing that Dad and I have in common is our love for anything on the screen. So whether it's a movie or a TV show, even a music video, if we love a music video, we share a music video. And so we thought that this would be a great opportunity for us to swap our perfect idea of a TV show or a movie, get the other person to watch it when they're like least likely to watch it, and compare notes.
We've done that from the very beginning.
But we've been easy on each other for the last couple of episodes, I think.
Yeah.
Because next week I have something for you, which I'm not going to tell you yet. I'll tell you later. Next week I have something for you, and it's something that you said, please don't make me watch it. And I'm going to make you watch it.
Oh, no.
Because this is the point.
I'm starting to get chills.
But this is the point. And I
shouldn't be. What, you want me to go down that pathway and sample all those things that you've fallen in love with over the years?
Yes.
And I haven't had access to.
Correct. Okay. And if I have to watch a game of soccer, I will do it.
But there's not that much football in Ted Lasso, even though it's a show about I
wasn't talking about Ted Lasso. I was talking about football in general.
Okay. All right. But it's part of what I do. I'm part
I know. It's a very big part of your life.
Well, I'm a part of the presentation team at FNR, which is Football Nation Radio. I'm also chair, and I have an.
Are we allowed to plug other podcasts on here?
Oh, we can. Why not? It's an opportunity to vent and tell all. I think it's appropriate, which is what we thought we'd do with this podcast called TV is All We've Got. And over the past 2 or 3 podcasts, we've had an opportunity to view, as we said earlier, Ted Lasso and Schmigadoon. Then it became Mr. Corman and Physical. Then we decided we'd do something even more extravagant, and we'd see a movie. And you saw Infinite, which I asked you to do. And you asked me to watch
Pitch Perfect.
And this week's podcast, you said to me, okay, we need to up the ante.
Yeah.
And what did you ask of me?
So I asked you to watch Stumptown, which is on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And it is about a war vet named Dex Parios, who is, I guess, struggling through life. It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, Dex Parios.
Dex Parios.
But she isn't.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
It stars.
It stars Colby.
Go on.
Kobe Smulders as
Yes.
Dex Parios.
Yes.
We have Jake Johnson as her good friend Gray, who's a bartender.
Who is your love interest? Is that correct?
Yes, he's on my phone, actually, as my screensaver.
No.
Yeah. Do you want me to show you?
No, don't do it.
Okay.
But I believe you. I've got to say, though, it's the ensemble cast that fits so beautifully around those two, not so much leads, but senior figures in the series. And it's actually I found it entertaining. And again, a few surprises. Corey Smulders does a terrific job. I saw her on The Avengers or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think the first time.
Yeah.
And of course, she's moved on and done other things as well. But this is a vehicle that she handles pretty well. And the big question for me is, will there be a second season?
Apparently not.
Well, Don't go there and feel so negative. No, Lauren, you've got to have faith. There's a show that featured on Netflix and a couple of other streaming services for about 4 or 5 years, and it threatened to be, shortchanged. But lo and behold, a new streaming platform came along and picked it up and ran with it. So the series actually, instead of being 1 or 2 seasons, has run nearly 9. And I think there's potential for this one to be picked up because, as you and I are learning very quickly, content is king. But also each and every week comes around, you've got to produce more content. So content is, all these streaming services have a voracious appetite. Yeah, they need to be fed. So there's a distinct possibility that
it'll make a comeback.
Yeah, I think it will get a comeback because it has a lot of those key ingredients. And there are a couple of very clever little add-ons that give Stumptown, a fresh face. And and it does something that you haven't seen too much of on mainstream television. And that is we've seen more diversity and more opportunities for people with disabilities to stand up, to step in, and to play a role and captivate us. And in Stumptown, we see Dex's brother, played by Ansel, played by a terrific young talent, who does a fantastic job.
Cole Cybus.
Of showing us just how well he can take on the challenge and play a running role in a series that went for quite some time. So terrific young actor, and beautifully handled by the ensemble. They all look like they've enjoyed working with him, and he's I think supported them.
A bit of a standout, actually.
He is, he is. And he has some great lines.
He has some great moments.
Yes.
And you can tell, like you said, the cast has really bonded with him and really taken him under their wing.
So,
and I mean, what an opportunity.
Another reason for Stumptown to maybe get some more exposure. So don't be disappointed if you think it's only one season. It's one season worth watching. So check it out.
But so the reason why I wanted you to watch it was because I know you enjoy action movies and TV shows. This one was a little bit different in that it deals with some heavy hitting stuff. So Dex, Kobe Smulders' character, does deal with PTSD, which is not addressed.
No.
So there is quite a heavy reliance on alcohol and other things in this series. But in saying that, in the honesty that it kind of brings, there's so much fun. These characters obviously clearly all get along. They all need each other for some reason or another, so they depend on each other quite a bit.
I actually thought that was the reason why you asked me to watch it, because it shows you how they all need to be included and to fit in. And by playing their roles, They all add not only to the storyline, but to the cast. And it's whether it's the policeman,
Detective Hoffman.
Yeah, the detective's partner, who becomes a little bit more than that as the season goes along.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. But it has an awful lot to go and makes you think. It does show you the challenges that many former military men and women have had to endure. Very hard to leave the war front and come back and slide back into society and do it without a misstep. It is challenging, and there are a lot of flashbacks, and they take a toll. As a young man, I remember in King's Cross, heading into the city with my brother to see a movie, and I remember there was a bunch of American military guys who were back from Nam on R&R, and a car at the time backfired, and a whole bunch of guys in front of us in Navy attire. So you knew they were military people, all hit the floor. They thought it was gunfire.
Yeah.
So interesting to see, and it made an impression on me as a young man.
Yeah.
Thinking, wow, these guys still think they're in the war front or in the war zone. So it just goes to show you. And again, Corey Smulders plays this former Marine who's in Marine intelligence and had spent time in Afghanistan, which of course is still very topical. So the story has great nuancing and great value. And it shows you yet another perspective of how tough things were, how people even stepped out when they were supposed to be doing the right thing over there. But again, no spoilers, just some insight. It's good. It's a good show.
Yeah. And you know what? I rewatched it.
But when you told me, watch Stumptown, I went, what?
Yeah, but I also did give you a warning. I said, do not get too attached, because there's only one season.
I have faith.
But
I think
I hope you're right. So I was watching it again in preparation for us recording this podcast. And I realized that there was a character that I probably didn't pay much attention to the first time around, but loved the second time. Her Mustang. It's got a real sense of humor, don't you think?
Oh,
it's got a broken tape deck.
Well, no, don't say too much about it. But it has a defect. It has a defect.
Yeah, but that's not giving anything away.
Okay, well, it has a defect or a character.
Trait.
A character trait. The car has this idiosyncrasy, and at the most inane and sometimes critical moments, it has a mind of its own.
Yeah. And the music is on point. Let's just end it there, shall we?
Actually, that's the other thing. All the stuff that we've watched since we began these podcasts, the commanding thing has been, one, great ensemble cast, good stories, well written, great character development through most of them. But the music has been very, as you touched on, really impactful and, as you said, on point. And I know how driven you are by good music. You also have some weird music tastes, I might add.
I do have some weird music tastes, but, it's fine.
I know, but where do you get this music taste from?
I don't know. I just listen to anything and everything. And if something sticks, well, I'll replay it 50 billion times until I know it off by heart, and then play it some more.
Yeah. And you do. And the other thing I've noticed about these choices that you've given me to take on board and to view, I noticed that so many of them are your comfort zones.
Yeah, they're my happy place.
Yeah. You get in there and you, even though you've seen it once or you've seen it twice, you want to relax. You're feeling a little bit anxious. You get into this particular series and it puts you back in that little comfort spot. And it helps you through whatever things are bothering you or stressing you. And I suppose if you consider the world as it is at the moment and what we've had to endure over the last 18 months, wherever you live in Australia, wherever you live in the world, it has been taxing. It has been challenging.
Yeah.
There's so much nonsense spoken. There's been so much misinformation. Even the media, which ordinarily does a pretty good job, and we've had a pretty sophisticated commercial and normal news outlets in this country for the better part of 20, 30 years, do a terrific job. But, in the last couple of years, I think they've come under enormous fire. A lot of questions have been asked of them. They've been found wanting in truth, and that's not really nice. I've lived in this business and worked in this business for the better part of 45 years. And what's really scary? To see it on its knees. A lot of good people trying to do a terrific job, but seriously challenged by not only the times, but some of the confusion and pain that has been caused. And they've lost that important thing, focus and perspective. You've got to ask yourself when you're doing a story, who you're doing it for. Is it a story that's most representative of the facts, or is it just most representative of your opinion? And if that's the latter, then you're in trouble. You've got to go back and do a story that's most representative of the facts. And there are a lot of things that people have just dropped the ball on, and it's just mind-numbing, actually. I asked you to go out and see
a nice segue, Dad.
The new season of
Morning Wars,
which is the story of the morning show on American television, breakfast news, and it's going to go through this COVID experience right now. So COVID's just about to hit season 2 of Morning Wars, and it's going to be quite something to see. And already there have been some very neat little grabs and banners. It's more than the flu. Yeah, it's more than the flu.
For those of you that haven't seen Morning Wars season 1, highly recommend that you get on it. It's on Apple Plus. And it has an all-star cast. You've got Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Billy Crudup, Mark Duplass, just to name a few.
Steve Carell.
And Steve Carell. Yeah, oh my God, how could I forget Steve Carell? And
he's not playing a comedian.
No, it's a very serious Steve Carell.
He's doing a tremendous job. The whole cast has been exemplary. They've come up trumps. The scenes behind the news.
Trumps.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just thought I'd throw that in there.
You can't get away from him, can you?
No, you can't. No, you can't. In fact, there are people telling us that they want a little bit more in 2024.
Ew.
It's going to be quite something. It's going to be quite something.
Let's not talk about that.
No, but Morning Wars season 2 has just hit the screens. And of course, will be released a new episode each and every week. Every Friday it drops in Australia about the same time as it does in the United States. And it promises to be a very revealing, very tough, very brave view on breakfast television, which is all about, what is it all about, Lauren?
Hard-hitting headlines?
No.
And fun? I don't know. It should be hard-hitting headlines.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's watered down, lolly sugar water.
It's all about each and everybody wanting to succeed in their own right. And as I keep saying to you, there's only one way an ensemble works, is that it's when everyone works together to be better. Not if
these ones appear to work well together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, privately, they're a superb ensemble, but the actual show itself shows you the depth of competition, the serious drive and career-driven lunacy that goes on behind the scenes. And some of it's real. Some of it's we've seen it, rear its ugly head in every television theatre in the world, whether it was in England, whether it's in Australia, or whether it's in America, which is the setting for this particular series, New York, the Big Apple.
Mm-hmm. So, season 1 will go back just to, if you haven't had the chance to watch it. takes place just as the Me Too movement's kind of hitting.
Yeah.
And it turns out that one of the main anchormen of the show has been accused of sexual abuse and misconduct.
Yeah, you know why they call that? You know why they call newscasters anchors, don't you?
Because they hold down the fort.
No, because at the first sign of trouble, they toss them over the side.
They drop them. Well, that's really clever. I do like that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
There you go. So we've both had something to do with anchors in our line of work.
Correct.
Okay. Are you ready for this one?
Should I be sitting down? Oh, hang on. I am already
sitting down. So that helps. Okay. So
don't laugh like that.
I have an uncomfortable love for the movie Frozen.
What? Frozen?
I love Frozen. I think it's seriously like one of the best movies. And I don't know if it's because when I was working on cruise ships, it was one of the movies that just played all day. And so if I'd go in and I'd take a nap during my shift, I'd just put it on and I'd fall asleep to it. And so I'm going to make you watch Frozen. I'm going to do it.
So what you're saying to me is it was therapy for you.
Oh, yeah.
And you clearly feel I need some therapy now. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I think you just need to understand why I love it as much as I do. It's not just a great animation. I mean, admittedly, the animation is incredible. Like if you look at, the snow, it's amazing.
Okay.
But also the songs are beautiful and the characters are great. It's fun. You're really going to like it. Is your recommendation for me going to fire me up this week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What have you got?
I've thought about it long and hard.
Okay.
And I said to myself, you know what? There was a movie I saw a long, long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was El Cid. And it starred Charlton Heston and Sophia Loren. Magnificent, cinematic wonder. But I'm not going to ask you to watch El Cid, the movie. I'm going to get you to watch El Cid, the series.
What? What am I watching?
El Cid, the series on Prime, Amazon.
El Cid. What is it about?
Cid. Oh,
I know how to spell it.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to watch and find out. So, just when you thought it was safe and nothing would throw you off the scent.
Never even heard of this show.
Well, all the more reason. I had no idea what Stumptown was. I had no idea what Schmigadoon was. Did I do the wrong thing? No. I took on the challenge. And I did what?
Okay.
I came up.
You watched it.
I watched it. And we told each other how impressed we were. Now I want you to tell me whether you'll be impressed or not.
Oh, God.
And stand by. It's adult.
It's all right. I'll watch Frozen after it.
What is a saver? a little freshener. Let me just get this straight. Is Frozen for you a bit like a digestive? In other words, you're feeling a little anxious or you're feeling a little glum. You watch a little Frozen and it sort of settles you down.
Yeah. Like if I just had a day,
yeah,
just throw it on. Maybe even just throw in a couple of the songs, sing my little heart out.
So a vodka and cranberry doesn't cut it.
Vodka lime soda, maybe? No, tequila shot. No. No. There's just something about it that's comforting. It's relatable.
All right. So the quest for next week to find out a bit more about El Cid, TV series on Amazon. Okay. And
I'm nervous.
My quest is Frozen. Okay. All right. There you go.
I'm nervous.
And so you should be.
Oh, crap.
But like everything we do on TV, that's all we've got, the podcast, That's what it's about. Getting to know you, getting to know everything about you, Lauren.
Yep.
Sounds like a song. Getting to know you, getting to know everything about you.
Maybe you should have made the jingle.
No, yours is much better than mine would ever be. All right, time for us to go. Catch you next week. I wish you a very industrious week in lockdown.
Thank you, as to you as well.
Yeah, and stay safe. Catch you next week.
All right, bye, Dad.
Bye, darling.